This is Abe Friedtanzer from Awards Radar, and I'm thrilled to be speaking with Chris Redd, who is a very busy man doing lots of great comedy stuff. How are you today, Chris?
I'm good, man. Just doing some comedy stuff.
All right. Well, I'm glad to hear that's what we want, right?
Yeah, man. You got a lot of books. I see all the books in the background.
Lots of books. Yes, yes. I'm in a friend's office today, so
Okay.
So a lot of stuff to talk about. Let's start with Bust Down. Can you tell me about the origin of this show and how it came to be?
Yeah, we met with a producer named Guy, which is a dumb name for a man. And no, shout out to Guy. And he brought me this French show that was about four friends who break up with their girlfriends at the same day to reclaim their lives. Real bad show. Went for 7 seasons, and he was like, "Hey, do you have three other friends?" I was like, "Yeah." And like, you guys could make yourself like a version of this show. And so I watched it and I was like, "Oh, this is terrible," but I was like, our group had been wanting to work together for a long time. So I was like, I brought it to them like, yo, we could do a version of this and make it better. And they were like, nah, the show's horrible. And then after some weeks, I convinced them to take a meeting with Guy, and then we got into like writing the first version of this thing, which was called like All for One, which is a terrible, terrible name for a show, decent name for R&B group. And then that was like 5.5 years ago. And so there's been like four different iterations of the show. And the one we landed on was like, it's just like us. We knew that we were the most interesting thing about the project. So we just had to make it real to us. And so we started using like arguments and conversations that we have as a group in our group chat or when we're hanging out. And we just decided to like write a show that tackles those conversations. And here we have Bust Down.
There you go. Is there a lot of improv involved in creating it?
Uh, yeah, there's a lot of writing involved, and like we're in writers' rooms, and we have some of the best writers, and our friends who we have the most fun with. I improvise a whole lot. People have to shut me up all the time, and I make it real hard for an editor in the editing room. but but we don't hold each other back, and I think that's why you see a lot of the chemistry that you do in the show, and a lot of the jokes and a lot of things land is because that we let each other and we support each other in like in our strengths. You know what I mean? And as much as I love writing, there's nothing I love more than being in the moment and coming up with something crazy. You know what I mean? Like that's my favorite. That's one of my favorite things to do. So none of my friends hold me back.
Do you think that the product is distinctly American, the show you made?
Distinctly I think it's distinctly African American. I think it's for people who like. I think it's for people who live everyday lives. You know what I mean? We wanted to make a show that wasn't Hollywood. We wanted to make a show that was like showing regular people in the every day to day, not trying to solve everything, but just kind of dealing with the things that hit them. You know what I mean? And we wanted to make a show that kind of reflected that, but like in a goofy way, because we wanted to make something that was hard hitting comedy focused first before anything else.
What was it like working with Peacock?
It was great, man. I thought that they were gonna have a lot more notes. They had some notes. I will say there's some shit that was supposed to be in the show that didn't get in the show, and probably for good reason. But they're like a real cool they're like a real cool adult in a teen movie. You know what I'm saying? They're like, I'm not gonna shut that down the party, but there's some shit in the party that shouldn't be there. You know what I mean? So it's like it was good to have an adult in the room. I will say that.
Obviously, you were unimpressed with the source material that was the basis for the show. How do you think the show you made has been received by the public?
Uh, I think that people fuck with it, man. I think we made something good. I think we made something cool, man. This is the only show I've ever been on. That I'll look it up on Twitter just to kind of see like who if people are talking about it, and I can't keep up with how many people like find the show and like the show, and that's so I'm like it has to be a good sign. I don't know how that reads as far as like streams, but I know that like that people are talking about it, And when I call family or when I call friends like, in different states, that they're saying people are talking about it. So that's cool. Like and like and people in the comedy community that I really respect like the show. So it's doing what I think it was supposed to do, what we set out to do. So as long as more people get Peacock, please get Peacock. I think we have a good chance of being their favorite show or one of them.
That's great. And is this it, or might there be more in the future of the show?
We're waiting right now to see. I think I feel good about it. Anything can happen, obviously, but I feel good about it, and we all feel like it's coming back. So, we don't have official word yet, but when I know, you will know because I will be screaming it everywhere all of the time.
Well, it's an unfortunate segue, but I know that you got very bad news recently about another show that you were on.
Yeah. I'm really gonna miss making Kenan, man. Like that was such a dream project. In the way that I got to work with some of the best people I've ever met on set. Where I, work with my brother and my little babies, my little play nieces. And it's all my co-workers who are not friends and family of mine with Camry, Fortune, Taylor. It was just like I could just name. I want to name everybody on the show, but I'm really gonna miss. I feel like the last season we hit a really great stride and really like started using everybody's strengths, and I was just really looking forward to telling more of that story. So I haven't had really a chance to process the fact that we're not going to be doing that show, because I'm still trying to get through this finale festival. But I'm probably going to be bummed out for a little while once it finally hits me like that is really not a thing anymore. But I'm really proud of what we did, though. I'm proud of what we did, and I'm glad we all got to had a chance to do it, and I hope we can do more stuff in the future.
Yeah, and I hear you and Kenan had quite the intense travel schedule going back and forth coast to coast.
Yeah, it was insane, man. Most of that I don't remember because I was so tired. But yeah, it overlapped. We overlapped twice. Like this was the first time we shot. We were shooting Kenan. I was doing SNL last season, and then when we stopped shooting that, we went back and forth for like 7 weeks, and then when I stopped shooting that, we were still in the room for Bust Down, the writers' room for Bust Down while doing SNL, and then the table reads for Kenan started coming back for season 2, and so then by the end of that, I was overlapping with SNL, Bust Down, and Kenan, and then that overlapped into this season about 8 weeks. And then these last few weeks I've only had SNL, so I'm like I feel like I'm like okay, now I can actually focus on one thing for a little bit. But I haven't had a break in a while, so I am looking forward to that, sitting down.
And how does it feel to be part of SNL right now? How do you think the show has evolved since you first joined a few years ago?
I think it's dope, man. I think we're doing some fun work. I think there's a lot of us. Like we're 2 basketball teams in size, but we're having a lot of fun. Everybody like loves playing together, and this like with the new folks bringing in like just new ways to do this thing, bro. Like I love how many like ways to do comedy there is, and how you can learn from each other and like be inspired by each other. I feel like there's just a lot of great energy in that place, a lot of very hilarious people. So every week the table reads have felt fun. Every show has felt fun and felt like something fresh and new is in each episode. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm having a good time, and it's been a good season.
And you're also doing some touring, correct?
Yeah. I've been touring for about 14 years. It'll be 14 years next month. And I've been touring ever since I've been on SNL, like the whole time. I think people are now paying attention to the tour, so that's tight. There's a different. It's always nice when people are in the audiences, So like it's interesting because I'm talking about the tour more because people are asking about it more because now they know about it. But I've been for me, I'm like, yeah, I've been touring. But yeah, I've been touring every Sunday, so that's our only days off. So every Sunday I go to like wherever the tour is supposed to be. So now it'd be nice to like have a couple weeks off where I get to like tour and only tour and like maybe vacation a little bit, dare I say.
Well, you should take that vacation and enjoy it. But what else do you have coming up after that in the future?
Yeah. I'll do some movies this summer. Hopefully shooting and writing Bust Down season 2. And I'm working on another little comedy music project, a couple of them, one for Audible and one for myself. The next thing I'll do, and that's all I kind of will say about it for now. But it'll be it'll be my next phase of sketch.
Awesome. I look forward to seeing that. Good luck with the finale of SNL and Bust Down season 2 news. And it was great to talk to you today.
Thanks, Abe. Appreciate it, man. You steal some of your friends' books. See if you notice.
Sounds good. Thanks, Chris. Take care.
All right, man. Peace.